That's my pitch. Come be my friend at Facebook if you're not already.
Dude, that was unbelievably cool. Do y'all have any questions for Andy since we've agreed that we can go along and you are now my captives? Is that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you know Abby told me that she would surgically remove my face and eat it? She is, in fact, quite precocious. She was like, I'm going to eat your face.
And then, what did Emma say? She was going to cut you?
Oh, maybe it was Emmy. I can't tell them apart because they're both the scary ones.
Well, that's what's really very disturbing about the whole thing.
Yeah, they're both the scary
comes one,
ones.
hey, okay.
Okay,
I just gave you my wallet. Now you want my watch?
Okay, so I'll be the guy who calls on people, and then you be the answer person.
Sure,
I have the power. All right.
Just a quick question. I promised you 2 things. Did I hit both of them or just the one? One was I'm going to help you fix your business. The other one was cry. I know I cried. Okay.
Okay, sir? Yes, sir.
Hi, I relate to your story you just gave.
It's your accent, by the way, that does it.
And I see it happen time and again when people introduce themselves, overcoming some struggle and how they can help other people, either with their business or something in life. And more often than not, much like you did right now, it's overcoming either some tragedy or difficult situation in life. What if you don't have that difficult history?
Can I jump to the end of this? You know, I didn't grow up in a car. My parents were upper middle class. I actually have a bachelor's degree from New York University, whereas a lot of other people that are in our business come from this tragic beginning, and that becomes the root of it. And see, that's the thing. It's not about where you start. It's about in every moment in your life, there is some perspective that you have that helped you get through to the next milestone, right? And it doesn't have to be a great deal of tragedy, but I guarantee you, if you dig hard enough, you'll look back and say, that was a huge challenge. How did I get past that? The reason that you want to bring forward challenges that you have to deal with is because you're going to ask them, your client, to go do something, and it's not going to be a paved, easy road. Most of the challenges are going to come when they look in the mirror. We'll deal with that later. But there are going to be some external challenges that you have encountered that you know are going to happen, that if you just codify it and say, hey, look, here's my perspective. This is what happened to me. All of a sudden, it's not such a scary, scary thing. Now, I was not trying to make your child going missing not be a scary thing, right? Let's just be clear. And that was probably very gratuitous, but I was making the point of what perspective is. If a 4-year-old can understand that she's got to close her eyes to describe to somebody that can't see a tree, the point that you take away is that all of your customers are blind. And sometimes you have to put yourself in their shoes to say, this is what it's going to be like for you. So no, it doesn't have to be a tragedy. It can be, you know, my little ditty with the USNC. Any devil dogs in here? No?
It translates to, or I don't think they can understand you.
Oh. Well, they would. The secret society would.
No, I couldn't even hear what you said.
Oorah? Yeah, sure. So yeah, just your experience. Look, you've got a product that teaches them how to get to a place. To get there, you experienced adversity. Yes, no? Yeah? Right. Okay. Let them know that's coming. But do it from your perspective. Let them know that it's not just here's how you deal with it when you get there. Let them know that it pissed you off, that your wife got upset about it, that it made you struggle at work, that you couldn't concentrate during the softball game in the league that you're in. You have to personalize it and humanize it so that when it happens to them and personal things start happening, they're like, oh, well, I knew this was coming. Does that make sense? Cool. I'm letting you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I got nothing to sell. People usually like me after I do this one. It's cool. I'm fucking funny on Facebook. My last post got like 3,000 shares.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good
That
one.
was a tragic occurrence.
It was a tragic occurrence.
He shared some terrible news. Well, you can tell them what it was. It was in fact tragic.
You know, what I could do here is I could pull it up. Yeah, that's right. But so the strategy, honestly, oh no.
Hey, no intro.
Wah, wah, wah. Do not, I understand that there's modeling, that sometimes you model success, and that's great. Don't read into everything. I would love for you all to be my friends, because then what will happen is you will go to Facebook, ideally, in my hopes and dreams, and you will say, that was a lovely presentation. I am so pleased to have heard something from someone that is so sensitive and caring about their family. And then my wife will read that, and it will be party time.
Would you do the same for me, please? If you would. Just copy and paste and take Andy out and then just put, she's not going to read his page, so you're not going to get caught, I don't think. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they're not going to know. Yes, sir?
You're asking a compound question, which I appreciate, and it's a difficult one. I will tell you, and this is going to sound trite, but when you get older and you are more exposed to business, I have like 50 employees now, so it's basically I have 50 personalities that I have to try to outmaneuver at all times. The number one thing that you learn is that most stereotypes, right, are true, and they usually come from a strong perspective. But with that said, everything that is wrong with my business and my lifestyle today is a function of me not having the guts, the belief, or understanding that I thought was supposed to work on one thing when I should have been working on the other. You know, my output, when I shine my attention on something, I can melt it. When I've got all of my pistons firing, that's it, wiped out. I will get it. The problem is I do this. So lesson number one is, we've heard of the 80-20 rule. Another lie. It's 98-2. And you laugh. It's 98-2. There are about 2% of the things that my business requires that only make me money. And I spend way too much time working on stuff that does not. The quicker I get that crap out of my way, the better. Let me put it into a very, very simple perspective. Every add to cart button you have on the internet is the equivalent of a lottery ticket. So how many add to cart buttons do you have right now? One. Who's got just one? Who's got two? Who's got three? Who's got four? Okay, so we go back and we do the survey of what the money everybody's making. There is a direct proportional increase in number of add to cart buttons that are currently online taking customers and income. So once I realized that that is true, would you agree? Make offers?
Apparently, the more offers you make, the more offers you make, the more money you make.
And if you send the email, if you ask again,
then statistically speaking, you make more of the monies.
Should you do a product launch and a webinar?
Yes.
Should you give Facebook money to send you customers to your offers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if that's all you ever did. Mm-hmm. That's it, right? So simplify. What is it? And I basically forget it. It's why am I in this situation? What's it all about? How do I do it now? Break your business down into that. And you should be working on the now stuff. Oh.
Oh, really painful. Okay, man, I was. And that's how you work out at 44.
Man, it's good.
You know, the other answer to the question is you just keep doing it. So, remember that big idea exercise? That's a mofo. But if you keep working on it and keep working on it, it gets a lot easier. So he's been coming up with how to make things succinct for 16 consecutive years. It's a pain in the butt, you know, but once you do it for a while, it's kind of like, how do you write good copy, right? And don't expect the first one to be amazing unless you're Trey Smith, who's a horrible person.
There's a great guy that in a seminar stood up and he goes, Andy, I'm spending $9 on blog posts, right? You remember that when you used to outsource your content, you get blog posts for $8, $9, $10. And he goes, and so I'm not really happy with the results. And I'm wondering, you know, should I get more blog posts? And I'm like, well, why not write better blog posts? And he said, well, how do I do that? And I said, get better. And there was like this, and then there was the chuckle, and they're like, fuck, right? Isn't success supposed to be a result of you getting actually a little bit better every day at what you do?
No, it's luck.
Oh, this is why we sometimes we don't agree on
You got
things.
lucky at the expense of everyone else, and so did I.
That's right.
And we did it deliberately.
It's, well,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. That's what we do. We're in the green room and we just sit there going,
I'm going to say this.
yeah.
Am I going to get in trouble? No. Fuck
I'm
it,
going
do
to
it.
send them to Facebook.
Oh, my goodness. Watch this close. I'm going to cry. I know it's going to work. Please.
their stock,
She's got
a little
cancer
bit of their
too.
stock.
Give me your money. Give me your money.
Who next? Who wants the most?
Yeah, are you sure?
So when you deliver something that is kind of an intangible, like just a fantastic perspective. In other words, you're hiring the captain for his perspective and experience to take you from some
To avoid the Hare Krishnas, man. That's all you got to say.
situation. It tends to be hard to put a price on that.
What happens when he gets on the other person? But you see, you have to understand.
I can answer
What
that
happens
real easy.
when he gets to the destination he wanted to go to? What's that worth to him? It's about the promised land. That's why my statement includes the promised land, not just the action. You know how to get six-pack abs?
Meth him?
Yeah, exactly like mine. In fact, good idea. Good. Let's use those. You do, except if you want to get the real ones, what they don't tell you is, and what they don't deliver to you afterwards is, you're going to start up and you're going to do 150 sit-ups. You're going to eat 1,500 calories a day. You're going to do 45 minutes worth of cardio. Nobody cares about what happens when you're on the river. That's not what they're thinking about. They're thinking about what happens when you get off and you go.
And the women are all just like throwing clothes at, yeah. Pick me. Pick me. Yeah. Happens all the time. That's why I live in a gated community.
Across the street from mine.
Yeah.
Frank and I don't even trust each other. We live in two separate gated communities, right across the street from each other.
Alchemy04, this is leader 7. Is the package still in the container? Roger that. He is in the container. All clear.
Clear. Release the weapon. Release
I'll show you how to do it. How much do you want to sell the service for? Well, that right there is problem number 1.
So remember the clarity thing we talked about?
What do you, it doesn't matter. What do you want to sell it for? Okay, what's the end result?
So a peace of mind. So I'm taking people from a diagnosis of pain, we're cutting the learning curve, so they're confused and they're moving to clarity and empowerment. And they know their role.
Okay, perfect. $500. We're going to role play. Whatever you say it is. Let's say I see you. I got to fix it. So, do you want it to be 500? It is totally whatever you say it is to the right person. I done saw you once. Freaking me out over there. Okay, so what do you want it to be? 500, 5,000?
3,000 a pop. I don't know.
Blam, 3,000. Okay, and they're unhappy here, and you're taking them to being less weirded out.
Yeah.
Great. Ask me how much it is, and then, like, don't buy it the first time.
So how much is this service worth?
Here's how you do this. Not worth. It's how much is it?
How much is it?
Ready? $3,000.
Whoa, that's kind of a lot.
It is. You know, but
Is it?
right now, when I hear you say that, what I'm really hearing is, I'm not quite sure I can get this for myself. And it totally makes sense you would think
I
that.
guess you're right, yeah.
Yep. But if you think about it, if you do this, whatever you're doing, let's say meditative, I'll just pull something out of my ass. If you drink the goat blood every day for a year, what do you think it would be like at the end of the year if it was only half as good as what it looks like right now?
That's what I've been searching for the last couple of years. It'd be amazing.
So you'd feel better, you'd sleep better, you would have an enormous sense of self-worth.
Does that happen with the goat's blood
Instantly.
too? Instantly.
You might, in fact, on your first sip, I'm going to stand out of the range of your self-worth. Yeah. All right, so then we're painting the picture, and it's got to be true, but we're anchoring them to that future result. You say, if you think about it, I know $3,000 is a lot of money, but that's $8.16 a day over the course of this year. So my question to you is it worth $8.16?
You've elevated it to a life issue, and I can't imagine not having this in my life. A bottle of goat blood every day for
you remember the switches?
Robbing self-esteem.
Yeah, I mean, the self-esteem, you'd never, think of the money you'd save on cars. You wouldn't have to buy, it'd be
You should
great.
lead with that.
But we were exaggerating them. But the switches, remember yesterday, the switches? So, but you've already got it in your head that they've got all these objections, so we don't even know. They could be like, yeah, dude, fine, great. $3,000, especially if you put it in front of the right person.
You think Frank and I are a good target market for you?
Well, I don't think we've had a diagnosis, thankfully. Yeah, I hope not.
No?
Is there something I don't know?
You don't think the guys that are in a circumstance where we have the spotlight shined on us every single day, the FTC's got an eye on us, we've got massive employees, it's okay. I took care of them earlier. I have guns.
They're out there waiting.
You don't think we have some degree of anxiety? What we ask you guys to do these things we teach you, and if they don't work, what does that make us look like? We feed our kids with the money you give us. You don't think we have anxiety? Maybe take a second look at identifying the circumstances your people are in. And I think when you discover what kind of people go through what they go through, they will pay you anything. What's $3,000 to me? It took me 2 hours today to make that, and I wasn't even working. You think I'd give that to you to help me figure shit out? Plus the goat blood?
You throw in the goat blood. Yeah, you got to throw in the goat blood. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit of the goat blood. Yeah, we freak ourselves. Now, I'm not saying, hey, go and ask for $3,000 there immediately. I don't know. But, man, you ain't even tried yet because you're in the what-if mode. That stops so many people. I've done it, so, I ain't hating. Just saying, stop it. The worst that's going to happen, they're going to say, no. All right, man. Be weirded out then. By the way, you should get that mole looked at. That would send me into the internet tailspin immediately. I'd be like, honey, take a picture of this. I can't see it. Get a picture of me. I'd be texting it to him. Does this look like melanoma? My wife would be like, go to the doctor. I ain't going to the doctor. That's how you get cancer.
That's exactly right.
Okay, now, I saw you earlier, but it was freaking me out. Did you want to say something? In the back by the camera fella? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you don't have to.
Do you deserve one?
Yes.
Is she about to kill us?
It might. Oh, I was kidding with you. You weren't actually freaking me. I was joking with you, trying to make you laugh. Yeah.
Me a little true, though.
Oh.
Oh, because we
I
freaked
didn't
you
mean
out?
to.
Yeah. I totally meant to make you cry. Rental.
She's not a rental. It is a real story.
It's a real story.
Yeah. I would say you need to terrify someone.
Terrify somebody?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold your thought. Hold your thought. What did I sell you today? What did I sell you today? I sold you nothing. Did I try to teach you something? No. What did I sell you today? I wasn't marketing today. I was teaching. And sometimes it's called tough love. Anybody here been to boot camp? Lots of love there, huh? Oh, yeah. My point is, would I ever do that and try to ask you for money? No, not if I want my reputation to be intact for about 38 seconds afterwards. Understand that context and perspective matters. That's all I'm saying. So no, I hope that I kind of hoped I terrified you a little bit because it had a happy ending, and I like to do that, and just I'm a jerk. I can't help it, but that's how I teach. And usually what happens is that last 3 lines, they'll forget what you say, they'll forget what you do, but you will never forget how I made you feel, which is why I gave you the Facebook link so you can come and tell me all about it. Does that make sense? Okay.
Come on back. All right, Uno Mas and you, sir. You guys match. Looking good.
Frank, first of all, I'm kind of terrified doing this at the moment. I just wanted to go ahead and...
It's him. It can't be me.
I say I'm terrified because a long time ago I made a promise to myself. But this is not coming from... By the way, your presentation was spot on, beautiful. Thanks for teaching us.
Thank you. You honor me. Thank you.
But Frank, I just wanted to personally thank you in front of this audience. I consider myself a Frankaholic.
For the extra charge, I've got the rehab that you could. That's the upsell.
Okay, a Frankaholic, what is that? Well, someone who dedicates his life in studying chronology. So,
Chronology!
That's amazing.
Bam!
Wow. I couldn't have even come up with that myself. That's really. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. That's really cool. Thank you.
So awesome. And he said exposed.
Yes, like a virus. I hadn't washed my hands, and
I'm about to fly away like the Hare Krishna.
back in 2000 was when I started my first online internet empire. Thanks to you, thanks for what you did. And I wouldn't be the entrepreneur I am right now if it weren't for your teachings and your influence.
yes.
I thank you for it, and I promise myself if I ever meet Frank Kernan live,
Uh-huh.
I'll walk up to that guy, shake his hand, and say thank you for everything.
Well, let's do it right now. It was a pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate it. 16 years. That's when I started. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That is super good. Okay, sure. We'll take one more because it would be rude not to, and I'm having a good time.
You guys got the opportunity to create all these different ideas and the capacity to do them. What's your process in deciding what am I going to promote, what am I going to build, what am I not going to promote, what am I not going to build, who am I going to put, how am I going to position myself in the marketplace? I can do all these different things. How do you finally get to the process where you say, I'm just going to narrow down? Say I know that you've gone from so many different myriads, and you guys get all these opportunities. So I'm always curious to how do you make that final decision to say, hey, this is what I'm going to be in the marketplace, and this is who I'm going to be in the marketplace.
Your answer is going to be way different than mine, probably better. So you start, and then because there's probably going to be 2 completely different answers.
No pressure.
Yeah, yeah, no pressure. Oh, how do you? I'm sorry about that. And I want to make sure I heard it right too. With all of the stuff that's available to do, sell, promote, people, opportunities, how do you choose what to do, sell, or promote? Did I get that right? Is that about right? See, okay.
Step number 1, am I any good at it? That's the lowest barrier of entry. Step number 2, can I get great at it? That's the second thing I look next. Step number 3, is there a marketplace that I can enter into easily? Step number 4, is it sustainable? Video, pretty good call, right? Video was kind of up and coming. Remember back in StomperNet days, traffic and conversion, search engine optimization, kind of up and coming. Webinars, Webinar Genesis, kind of up and coming. I came to the marketplace late with Kartra, which is now an alpha, because I wanted to see how badly everybody would fuck up before I could come in like a white knight. So the point is, I don't ever do anything that I'm not good at. I don't. So then, I mean, look, there's a lot of different things that our businesses require us to do that we suck at, and so we make other people do it. So that's how I roll. You'll never see me doing anything I'm not good at.
And so for me, I've had two different processes for doing it. So pre-2012, I would say the process was, how can I create this to avoid having to do something that I don't want to do? I would look for, without sacrificing value, because I never want to sell anything crappy or do anything I don't know what I'm talking about, because it's real easy to look stupid to a lot of people doing that. That's not any fun. And that was largely driven by just a completely different set of personal values. I wanted freedom. I want to just do something where I can set it and forget it, make a lot of money at once, chill out, serve, party, and all that stuff. So I didn't really have any other process other than, is it a good product? Are people going to like it? And is it going to work really quickly? And am I going to have to do anything after the sale of this? That was the criteria. Criteria now, is it a long-term asset that I can put money into that's going to continue to put money out over time? So for me, that's why you guys don't ever see me doing affiliate-driven product launches or any of that kind of stuff, because I'm much more focused on building machines that make money. Like I've been showing you the whole time. That's what I'm trying to convey so much is, look, man, we have this real low-hanging fruit right now. Facebook is like Google was back in 2001, super easy. And I want to build all of these assets that make money, systemize them, and then build the next one. So completely different process. Yeah.
That gentleman has been very patient.
It's a very nice looking tie.
Very nice looking man too, as well.
Lovely.
Like his grooming is a step above.
We should be like fashion
Stand
commentary.
up, buddy.
Yeah.
Turn around for us.
Look at this. This is a fine specimen of a man if I've ever seen.
Man, look at that. Good. Glasses a little tight on your frame there, your face.
We're the fashion police of La Jolla.
You mentioned the fourth circumstance. People are now don't need that promise premise statement. Is that because it's such an urgent problem that it's just so?
Because they already decided to try to fix it themselves. So they know what the promised land is. They know that the octopus and the shark and the Hare Krishna are coming to get them.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They've experienced it, right? So there's no need to sell them on your solution. They've already tried to do it. So now what you're going to do is say, oh, that was so cute. Good job, buddy. Now come over here. Let's go do it with the big boys do it. Right? So you don't need to resell them on the idea that getting to this place is worthwhile. You're getting them when their boat is about to go under. Does that make sense? They do already. They're already in the circumstance. That's one of the nice things about this is those four circumstances will cover 99.9998% of any market at any time. And really what they are is they're ways to craft your message so that you can attract different people at different advertising price points. Because like I said, market circumstance number one is the top of your funnel, right? That's where most of the people, I'm fat. Right? I don't know what I want to do about it, but I'd like to know why. So you're not going to spend...
Well-fed.
Well-fed. Thank you. I need to rechange this entire... The well-fed entrepreneur. That's where Frank and I shop, by the way.
Travis Matthew.
So
Leisure wear for the well-fed gentleman.
The point to breaking them up into circumstances is that if somebody's in circumstance number one and your marketing is all about buying this thing, and here's the reason why we're better than everyone else, which is a circumstance number two. That's a what circumstance. What is it? What makes it superior? You lose that marketplace. You're spending more to talk to people that they're not ready to talk to you yet. And then the ultimate thing, I don't know if everybody saw this at the end, your goal is to move people through all of the circumstances. That's your goal. You talk to them no matter what circumstance that they're in, but you move them from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and at some point in 3 to 4, they're about to give you the money. They're about to become your customer. And that's one of the reasons why the 4 product launch videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 parts of a webinar, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the purpose is not to necessarily polarize them into believing something. They're already there. Does it make sense? Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Super. Okay, we'll take one more. Can you guys be breakless? Need a break? You have to take one? All right, push onward, by gosh. Hey?
And shoot me. No. So you're saying it works. Well dressed, well fed.
Well fed. Yeah.
My question is, my target market is people that have this massive net worth, minimum 10 million. The average customer does $10 billion, and all this stuff has been amazing information. I'm wondering how I can disseminate back to try to find my target market. And, like, I don't know, Facebook has categories that these people have their own Facebook profiles.
They do. Yeah. They also have addresses to which you can send mail. Yeah. What's the end result of the thing you're giving them?
Well, the new World Bank was just formed, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. 57 major countries around the world, except the U.S., may hold out, has a goal of doing $10 trillion over the next 10 years of infrastructure development, to try to raise the level, the whole world being able to have telecommunications, electricity, all these amazing things. So they're offering the trillions of dollars of money just being held. This is not investment capital, this is money that cannot be lost. They're being charged negative interest rates just to hold it stored. It costs money to keep money. And this bank says, you send it to us as depositors, we'll give you, backed by the creditworthiness of all these 57 countries, soon to be 80, we'll back it by 100% principal guaranteed. So 0% is better than negative percent. That's the worst case scenario. They're saving lots of money. But they're letting these investors, that money's being put into these projects, which typically make 10 to 20% a year. Telecommunications, electricity, all these things. They're letting those investors, those depositors, make that just like as if they were investors.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, what else? Is that the best you can do for the country? And they said, okay, no taxes or fees on those profits if they're investing for those countries. So our average customer so far is $10 billion. That's not an exaggeration. It's 10 investors have done $106 billion so far. The minimum is $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to have offices in all the soon-to-be 80 countries of this bank. But we're the only source for all that private money, those up to $10 trillion in the next 10 years.
You are in what is called a good position. That's pretty.
I promise you it was your friend, but bottom line is I'm a part of it, 20% of the company.
Hot diggity.
But yeah, it's that message obviously sells itself. It doesn't have to be the messenger means nothing. The message is enough. But how to get that word out there to these higher elites?
Is it their same people? So you got to look at what problem are they wanting to solve? Taxes, capital preservation, and probably capital growth, really. If they're the folks that are at 10 million level, they didn't get there by preservation attempts. So those are the 3 big things.
This is converting dollars that right now is losing money for sure. This is not
Yeah.
part of their investment portfolio in their portfolio. This is money that's just being stored. We're converting that to the income producing side. It's never been done before.
Cool.
This level of World Bank.
Yep. So the answer is, and the question is, how do I get in front of these people with $10 million or more? And the answer is exact same way you get in front of just about anybody else. If Facebook doesn't work, which it might not, the mail will. So if you have a $10 million depositor, what's that depositor worth to the company in fees or interest or whatever over the course of a year?
We'll immediately make a 5%, not out of their money, but from the countries. So the countries paid in $100 billion to cover the first $2 trillion of this transfer for us. So nothing comes out of your
So it's $500,000 American dollars per customer? Yeah, I would get in the mail. Okay. Yeah. So it's a multi-step sale, right? And the first step is to get them educated and interested. They're already interested in the result. I mean, that's all you think about. How am I going to keep the evil government from stealing all my dang money? How can I get more of it and grow it and not lose it? Which I think you go through how do I get it to how do I keep the evil, parasitic, satanic government from stealing it from me? So not our government, of course. Our government's fantastic. Cameras, wonderful government. Love them. Yes. What could be better than the United States? I mean, better than the church, really. So phenomenal people. But so essentially the message is, look, I got a way to help you do X, Y, Z, and I am willing to set aside some time to strategize with you on how to do X, Y, Z. It's not for everybody, but I am willing to do it for free. Basically, if you think I wasted your time, I will pay you this penalty for time wasted. It's called irresistible entry offer. You put a little bit of education in front of it, but that's how you get them on the phone with you. Before saying, click here to sign up to talk to me, you say, however, you have to understand, my time is very, very limited, and I can only do this for you if you meet the following criteria, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you meet that criteria, start jumping through hoops, right? And then you make them apply to talk to you. And the logic is they're never going to apply to talk to me. Who the hell am I? They're not going to know me. They'll apply to talk to you. Fernando had the same thing. They're not going to do this. What is it? They're doctors. They're going to hate marketing. Brazil has a bad, and then you're wanting to deal with American. You're like, dude, I have an accent. I'm like, great, whatever, Go to all-female doctors, right? You bastards. They all love you. I tell you what, you Brazilian guys. It's like, well, there's Latin. Well, I give up then. I'm going home. Joining the abbey. Is that what it is? Where the monks live? So it's the same thing. They're already they have already tried to cross the river a zillion times, these guys. And they've gotten to the promised land a couple times. But now they know there are multiple promised lands. So your job is actually easier. Because anybody sending them a FedEx package, there's no one sending them, there's nobody sending them shock and awe, dude. I mean, you could send them a box with a passport, obviously a deliberately, not a fake passport, but a mock passport, which I'm in no way saying you send a fake passport, so just for yeah. I mean, you really don't. But it seems that people think it's somehow profitable to their lives and their businesses to take snippets of what guys like Andy and I say, and to just take that. And then so I just see on the internet, Andy Jenkins and Frank Kern selling fake passports in La Jolla, California. Story at 11. But like the direct mail piece would have a passport, with their picture in there, which you could get from LinkedIn, social media, anything like that. Rick James, citizen of Colombia, saves, or honorary citizen of Colombia or whatever, saves $15 million on taxes and realizes a capital gain of XYZ without risk. That's your grabber. Then you go through your 4 phases and your offer is to talk to you. It takes cojones to drop money on mail, but at $500,000 a pop, I'd be a mail sending to mail. And the place to find them, by the way, is Affluence Research or affluentresearch.net or .org, and there's a lot of them, these guys. It's a list broker that's specifically for the affluent. Or you could walk about 2 miles that way and throw a rock. And some of them, yeah. All right, I think I'm going to take one more, and there was someone that was behind you, and there you go, yeah, and then that'll be one.
How is your boat different than your competitor's boat? The captain. Start there. Right, my guess is none of you guys are teaching people how to do drywall. There's only a couple different ways to do drywall, right? My presumption is some of the things that you propose to do are going to dramatically increase their life for the better. And you have synthesized this plan based very much on going to the school of hard knocks. You can't eliminate you from being the boat. You can't. Anybody here would submit to surgery without knowing exactly who was cutting you open? But isn't it the same surgery? See my point? It counts more. You think you're an imposter. Go read imposter syndrome, and you'll be like, oh my God, that's me. And then disbelieve it immediately. Just be like, fuck it. Okay? But it is absolutely you. There are many other little different tactical things you could do. Make it easier to get on board the boat instead of actually having to pay the full fare right up front. Pay when they get off, right? So you can make different types of offers. You can take them halfway across the road and say, so this is what it would look like from here on out. You let me know when you're ready to go. You can make different offers that give them different levels of accessibility to your product, your program, which other boating companies might not do. The analogy works pretty damn good, doesn't it? The whole boat thing, crossing the river. Hare Krishna was the killer, though. That's how I'm different. When he flew, brilliant.
Filmmaking at its finest right there. That's the kind of thing that got the Blair Witch off the ground.
Well,
They fly with their minds. I don't know if you know that, the Hare Krishnas.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, let's keep working. So first of all, thank you, dude. This has been fantastic.
My pleasure.
Awesome.
You got me
My
nothing.
man. Don't you wish he would do it more often?
Thank you very much.
Get him out more often. I tell you what.
I'm good. All right, I'm getting off the stage.
Remind me to give you the slides for Revenue Expander, the exercise I'm going to do, because I did it with Webinar Jam, and man.
Remember to actually do a thing. I will also get you slides of this so that you can distribute to these fine people.
Well, fine. All right, so y'all were good? No break needed?
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everybody. No break needed? You're good? I mean, tell me if you want to take one, and we'll... Okay, let's do it. Okay. This is going to be the best part for all the people who are taking breaks right now. No, I'm messing around. All right, let's see. Hang on. Hang on, homies. We got a lot to do, and I do not want